Hey guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspective. So, some huge news just dropped, really for all of college football. But Hudson Card has now officially been named the starting quarterback at the University of Texas. First reported by 247 Sports, Chip Brown, according to sources, was informed yesterday of the decision, as well as Casey Thompson by Steve Sarkisian following a walkthrough. And want to dive into the significance of this news is we've all been waiting only 7 days away from what I've been calling product launch against Louisiana on September 4th. We've been waiting. And if you've been in lockstep with what's been going on, especially with a lot of the insider reporting and really just the language has been around the quarterback situation really post spring. But I would say the shift really happened after that first scrimmage, after they really had been 50-50 for a while and started to kind of see things move towards Hudson Card's direction. But I did see something rather interesting in the article that Chip Brown posted, and this was probably 30 minutes ago at this point, as I'm recording here. But I thought it was interesting. It said indicated both quarterbacks would play in the opener. Sources said. So I say that for the Casey Thompson folks. A lot of people have been hitting me in the comments as we've been talking quarterbacks. As you guys know, I had myself and Tran had Hudson Card and our top five breakout players. And when you talk about the significance for college football, we knew whether it was Hudson Card or Casey Thompson, the person taking over a Steve Sarkisian offense, the person who's been the hottest play caller in all of college football, Tua Tagovailoa, Mac Jones of recent, what he's been able to produce. You look at his resume going back to USC, look at his resume with Keith Price, with Jake Locker at Washington, and how he's been regarded as a developer of quarterbacks in the football community, and now as a high-level national championship play caller who is as hot as you can be offensively and schematically, what he's brought to college football. Whoever that new trigger man is, that's important. We saw that Mac Jones development, him as a three-star. Tua going to the next level when he went from Mike Locksley to Steve Sarkisian, right? So that's insignificant. But going back to the Casey Thompson aspect, because going back to before, a lot of people saying, Steve, Alamo Bowl, what he showed, we haven't seen a quarterback play that dynamic and that aggressive in a very long time. No disrespect to Sam Ellinger, of course, but the way Casey Thompson was pushing the ball down the field, the way he was carrying himself, the moxie, the leadership. Steve, isn't there more that goes into that? And look, I agree on all of those fronts, but I think we have to take a step back and look at it from a standpoint of we brought Steve Sarkisian here to audit this program, to improve this program, and to hopefully get us to where we want to go in terms of winning our conference and competing for the playoffs. He's recently just come from that. And understanding what we're looking at here and supporting that the quarterback, no matter who it is, both of these guys, Casey Thompson, sometimes you're just in a situation where it's not a bad option. It's not, oh, this guy's good and this guy's bad. It's both of these guys are balling, but this guy gives me a little something extra. This guy has a little bit more. And because one could say, well, Steve, he's earned that right based upon what he's done. He's earned the right to us because that's all we've seen. I hate to say it this way because I almost feel like Allen Iverson. We talk about practice and we're talking about scrimmages and we're talking about everything behind the scenes since Steve Sarkisian has been in play. And I will say this, from what I've seen, in my opinion, they really did try to give this job to Casey Thompson. They tried to give him every opportunity to earn this job. And he has not played poorly, but he hasn't done as good a job protecting the football or building that rapport with the receivers or executing the offense to the way Steve Sarkisian sees fit, as well as Hudson Card. And I think a lot of people right now are asking, how is Casey Thompson, who did what he did in the Alamo Bowl, not going to be able to trot out there as an opening day starter? You hardly ever see that around college football. Steve, that's wild. What's going on there at Texas? I know that question's coming. But what we need to be asking is, what did Hudson Card show? What is Steve Sarkisian seeing in Hudson Card to go with that guy to unseat the guy that did what he did in the Alamo Bowl? I think that's a better question we need to be asking. Because if Hudson Card goes out there and takes off, right, or at least is where he's playing well enough to where it's all of a sudden, well, oh, okay, I see what Steve was saying. And I also think going back to the quote here that you see indicating both quarterbacks will play in the opener, I think there's a world where they both come out there and ball. And then we're looking at ourselves, and Hudson Card does some wild things, and Casey Thompson looks like Casey Thompson, where we're like, oh, I see the conundrum that Steve was in. I see the conundrum that AJ Milwee was in, where both of these guys are two of our better football players. Both of these guys can move the offense. And when I come from the school, and this is just me, when two people are that close, and one guy is a little bit younger and one guy is a little bit more upside, you're going to go with the upside play. Now, for my Casey Thompson people also use this. Well, if y'all don't play him, he's going to bounce. What's stopping Casey Thompson right now? He's graduated in 3 years. He has an opportunity to look at any other school, any other quarterback situation, and get ahead of those 2022 guys, get ahead of some of those other loaded quarterback rooms where there will also be transfers, i.e., Ohio State, and get myself into a situation. We Casey Thompson's been here through Cameron Rising, where he and Cameron Rising were a two quarterback take, I believe 2018 class. And everybody was saying, it's kind of like the Hudson Card Casey Thompson thing now, where Cameron Rising was the guy that had more arm talent, more upside, blah, blah, blah. But we ended up staying with Casey, and Casey has been developing. And so that's where it's even painful for me to talk like this, because he's done everything that everybody's asked under different regimes, whether it was Tim Beck, whether it was Mike Yurcich, now Steve Sarkisian. He's done everything that has been asked. He's developed to the point where he pushed a guy with NFL tools and Hudson Card, or Hudson Card pushed him, however you want to look at it, to where this decision was made during game week. Even last year between Mac Jones and Bryce Young, I believe that decision was made 2 weeks before their opener. This is game week now. And we're just now finding out who QB1 is. And who QB1 is going to be Hudson Card. And we, as a fan base, the players, the staff, everybody, we have to be unified come September 4th for Hudson Card and to support him. I understand the Casey Thompson people. I understand, hey, going back to my portal comment, I don't know if I finished that point, but hey, he might hit the portal. Steve Sarkisian answered that as well as he possibly could. I have to be concerned about putting the best person on the field. I cannot make decisions out of fear. I can't make decisions out of, oh, he might leave, so he gets the job for that. If we start handing out jobs that way in college football, we are headed for a very, very dark place when we start playing those games. So if Casey Thompson, hopefully him being engaged, and that's where Steve Sarkisian has to work that Matt Castle example. I know Chip mentioned in his article, and we've all been talking about that analogy between Matt Castle and Matt Leinart, and both their career trajectories at USC and on to the NFL. But those are conversations Steve has to have. And I think he's the type of person with the charisma and how vested he is in the quarterbacks to connect with both where they understand their roles. And if you're Casey Thompson, you're one play away from being the guy. And if you're Hudson Card, pressure's on you to perform. I'm not saying I don't want him. I've made videos before about guys being saviors. Hey, come here, save us. No, I want you to come in and be the trigger man in this offense and be the vehicle to distribute the ball to Bijan Robinson, most importantly. Take advantage of your play action opportunities. Take advantage of your bootleg opportunities. Take advantage of your RPO opportunities that are all grounded in the basis of the run game. And then get the ball to guys that can make plays in the open field and leverage some more of the speed that we'll have out there. That's what I'm asking. I'm not asking for him to go out there and carry us 45, 55 attempts, stuff like that. That's unrealistic ask at this point, at least to start of your career. And if we're in those situations, then things aren't going as planned, in my opinion, as well in terms of the game. And if you're Casey Thompson, just stay engaged, right? So very interesting. I want to hear everybody's comments and thoughts on this. It's huge news for Texas. Have a new official starter. Huge news in the college football landscape. Steve Sarkisian, that new trigger man in a very, very high octane, all gas, no brakes Shout out to Last Stand Hats for the merch. We get our merch together. I'll be there for product launch on September 4th. Can't wait to see everybody. Trey and I will be in the building. Let me know in the comments too what type of merch y'all got going on and all that good stuff. See everybody in Austin. Much more content coming this week for our season previews, but we know now Hudson Card is officially QB1. Appreciate you guys. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, show us some love. Horns, always up.